Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you guys today about these really cool QD mounts. Actually, it's not the mounts; it's really the sockets that I'm interested in. And these sockets basically have a hole, as you can see right there. I found these on eBay, and it comes together as a pair. And the nice thing is that it comes with a socket and it comes with a swivel. And this swivel is actually, it's a lot smaller than the typical swivels that you'll find on Amazon. And one of the things I like about the smaller swivel is with the big swivels, right, with the ones that you typically find on Amazon, you see how that button sticks out there? Well, I had it's only happened one time to me, but this summer while I was training, and I was going through some transitions, I was moving around, somehow or other, that button got hit. You know, it might have hit on a piece of my gear or something, but that button got hit, and the swivel released from the gun. Okay, and basically the gun fell. The rifle fell on the ground, and I believe it was because that button sticks out so much. With these swivels here, right, the button it does also stick out a little bit so you can get to it, but you really have to push your thumb in there to release it. So if you just push it, your thumb a little bit, it's not going to release. Okay, so this is much better, I think. First of all, because it's smaller, and smaller is better. So, smaller is lighter, and secondly, because the button will not release as easy. You really have to kind of dig your thumb in there. So that's one of the reasons why I really love these small swivels. But that's not the reason why I bought it. I really bought this because of this socket. And I'll explain to you why this is so awesome. If you guys own a bunch of ARs, AKs, a bunch of other rifles, you'll notice a lot of times they come with these cheap stocks, right? You probably have a whole drawer full of them because, like a lot of you guys, what you do is at some point, you usually upgrade to the cool Magpul ones that come with the QD mounting points built into the stock, right? Right. So these cost like $50 each, and you probably a lot of you guys probably have a whole drawer full of these stocks. Well, these little sockets, right, which cost about $2.50 on eBay, $2.50. If you don't mind waiting, if you need immediate delivery, you end up paying about $10 for a pair. But then, if you want to get more and you don't care if it takes a month for them to get it to you, there's another vendor you can find that will sell them for $2.50 each, and you pay. You actually have to wait a couple of weeks to get shipped out. But like I said, I bought the pair and then I ordered like another 5, and these are really great because you can take all these cheap stocks, right, like this cheapo stock here, and you can drill a hole through it, and you can use and basically you can use a nut in the bolt, and run that bolt through the socket, and then through the hole that you drill in the plastic of the stock, and put the nut on the other side, and presto, all of a sudden you have a QD mounting point on your stock. So that's why I think these are so awesome. Okay. The way this came about is because I ordered this Palmetto AR, and this Palmetto came with a Blackhawk stock, and it had these QD sockets in it, and I took a closer look at it, and I saw that they were easily removable, and I said, wait a second, let me see if I can get a bunch of these so I can upgrade all those cheapo stocks that I got sitting in drawers and actually use them, or basically sitting on rifles and I can't use them. And so I saw how easily this comes off, and then I started searching around. I couldn't really find anything on Amazon, so somebody told me to look at eBay, and I found a whole bunch of options on eBay. So that's the cool thing. You can basically this is the Blackhawk. There's the one that came with it. On this one over here, no, that one. Where is it? This one here. On this gun right here, I basically just drilled the hole and ran a bolt through it and a nut, and the size of the bolt that you need is 8/32. 8/32 by a 1/4 inch long. And the hard part is going to be finding that bolt in that size, because I went to Lowe's and they didn't quite have what I wanted. So I'm going to have to search around, especially if you're trying to find it in black. You know, it's going to be that much difficult, but you'll find it eventually. It's 8/32 by a quarter inch long, and you want a flat head. If you can kind of see, you see how these are too long over here, but you can see how the heads on these are flat. So you need the heads to be flat so that, because they're going to go into the socket. They're going to go into the socket, and then basically this goes on top of that and it sits on the head. So it's got to be flat, otherwise this won't go all the way in. Okay, so these are really cool. Definitely recommend you guys get a bunch of those, because then you can take all these cheap stocks that you've got that you can't use as mounting points, and you can put these QD mounts on. Now, while I have you guys here, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I like to mount. And I'm gonna start with this gun over here, because this gun's got a lot of options. Okay. The nice thing about this this rail, it's got QD points mounted directly onto the rail, so I don't have to put an adapter. I don't have to put like the M-LOK stuff. So, and the cool thing is, like, I can put that right there, and it's, in some instances it's convenient to be able to mount all the way to the front, all the way to the back, because if I'm going to be walking for a couple of miles, the easiest way to really carry this gun is just throw it on my back. Okay, so this is the most comfortable way to carry the gun. Okay, this is basically the old style, like World War II guys. This, World War II guns. This is how the slings were set up. If you're gonna be going for long walks, this is how you want to carry the gun. Okay, if you're gonna be training, right? If you know you're gonna be shooting, what I'll do is I'll just move this to the back here, and here, if you notice, this is on the inside. You don't want this on the inside. You want it on the outside, and I'll explain why. If I'm here, this works fine. But if I go to do a transition, see, it's choking me. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm going to mount that to the outside, right? All right, that's the side of the ejection port. Okay, so now this hangs loose, and from there, I can do easy transitions from one side to the next. I can do partial transitions. Okay, so that's why you want this on the outside. And I like mounting back here, because this doesn't wobble around. I do have an end plate on this gun as well, where I can mount there. And what I find is that this moves around too much, and it kind of annoys me. I mean, sometimes I do train like this, but that does annoy me. This is a lot more preferable. This is what I prefer. At this, I used to put the end plates sockets on here because they were cheap. But now that I found these sockets that will go onto the stock, and they're pretty cheap, and I can pretty much throw them on anything. This is pretty much how I'm going to be mounting my gun from now on. Okay, so you want one on the outside of your gun, right? So if you're right-handed, you want it on the right side, and then you want to be able to get one there. On some guns, right, like this gun over here, it has the quad rail. What I did is I attached an adapter onto the quad rail, and on this gun, this is one of those cheapo stocks. This is a 22, so for this is a Colt 22. This is a perfect example where I'm not going to buy a $50 Magpul stock for a 22 rifle. So I took the stock that this came with, and I put that little socket on it, the QD socket, and now I can quickly go from one to the other. So this is a 22 AR that I tend to do a lot of training with. That's one of the secrets to getting good. Shoot a lot with 22s, and then everything you do with that, go do with your 5.56 AR. Okay, so This is really convenient. You know, when you basically let the rifle drop, it's going to point away from your toes. So again, this is a really cheap stock that using that socket I was able to upgrade. On the Palmetto, on this one I have the standard plastic that came with it. It did have the socket, and with this it works fine because basically here I'm mounted over here. If you put this on the outside, like I told you guys a short while ago, this will work pretty good. Okay, so despite the fact that this is mounted on underneath the gun over here, because you're coming over the top over here, this is going to control the gun pretty well. So you don't have to go too crazy with trying to figure out how to how to sling the gun. So this is a style. This works just fine for me, right? And then I can do my transitions. Well, actually, this isn't quite long enough. I gotta make the sling a little bit longer, but I can get where I need to be. So there's my thoughts on slings and on getting these QD sockets on eBay, and you can mount them on all your cheap stocks, and basically you can do a lot of stuff that you weren't able to do before. And like I said, the size of the bolt and the nut that you need is I think it said 8/32 by 1/4 inch length. Okay, get the flatheads, and also get either some Loctite, or get like a stop nut so that it doesn't loosen up while you're shooting. Okay, thanks for watching. Post some comments. I'll talk to you guys next time.